What is up, boys? It's about time that I make this video. This video is going to be going over what are the best ways to actually pass a funded account challenge on Player Profit, strategies, tactics. We're going to go over all that right here in this video. I'm just filming on the side of the road, so car's a little loud, but I have to keep it running. So I got the AC going. I live in Florida. It's hot, but let's get into some of the best things that you can do in order to make sure you're able to pass a funded account challenge on Player Profit. Over the past month, I've gotten a ton of comments asking, how do I pass? How do I make sure that I don't fail? What are the best strategies to use? What should I look out for? What should I do? What should I not? You get the picture. And this video is not going to be telling you exactly which picks to take on Player Profit. This is going to be a more general advice. So this is going to be a quick video. Let's get right into it. I'm going to give you the 3 heavy hitter pieces of advice that you need to do in order to be able to pass a funded account challenge on Player Profit. You need to use incredibly strict bankroll management no matter what. It doesn't matter if you lost your last 2 bets. You're not doubling down on this bet to make up for your past loss. You're not chasing your losses. You need to use strict bankroll management. And every single person that I've seen actually pass the challenge, get funded, and go that 30-day period of growing that bankroll and actually getting a payout, every single one of them have used incredibly strict bankroll management. They're not emotional, and they always stick to a strict, usually very small unit size. This shouldn't be news to you. If this is your first time hearing about using good bankroll management, you're probably not a good enough sports picker to even really make use of Player Profit in the first place. So let's move on to the second one. But again, that is maybe the most repetitive one that you hear all the time. But good bankroll management is so important to having success on Player Profit, to getting funded, and ultimately get to a big payout. Now, the second one is going to be to take your time. And this kind of plays into using good bankroll management, not chasing your losses. There might be days where you aren't seeing picks on Player Profit that you like, so you shouldn't take any picks for that day. You can go as many days as you want during the testing phase without locking in a pick. So again, don't force yourself to take picks that you don't want to take. Only take picks when you're confident that they're going to win and they're going to get you those long-term results. Now, obviously, once you get into the funded phase, there's going to be an inactivity timer, but it's only 5 picks over the course of 5 days. Now, once you actually get into the funded phase, there is an inactivity timer where you have to place a certain amount of bets. But before you get into the funded phase and you're still in the testing phase, you can take as long as you want to pass. Guys, you can take a month, you could take 2 months. You could only lock in a bet on Player Profit when you're almost guaranteed that a pick is going to cash and you could get funded. Now, right now, at the time of making this video, it's changed a little bit over the past couple months, but there is an inactivity timer for once you're in the funded account phase. So once you got funded, there is an inactivity timer where you have to place at least 5 picks every 5 days. So it's not 1 pick every day. You could not place any bets for 4 days and then lock in 5 picks on the 5th day. Realistically, that's not very hard to do, but that is my second biggest piece of advice. Now, obviously, take your time, but it's good to know that the 5 pick minimum for 5 days is there, but that really shouldn't be a big deal to do that. But still, take your time, guys. That is the second big piece of advice for it when it comes to people who want to actually pass a funded account challenge and get funded for their sports picks. Take your time. Don't force a bet, especially after a loss. You might feel the next day after a bad losing day that you have to make up for those picks that you lost. Don't do that. Take your time. Make sure every single pick that you're locking in has a good chance of winning, and you're gonna have a much better chance of passing a funded account challenge. Take your time. There's no rush. That's my big piece of advice for point number 2. All right, and my point number 3 is going to be to look at taking a funded account challenge mathematically. What do I mean by that? Don't trick yourself into thinking that passing the challenge is easier than it actually is. You know, taking a minimum of 20 sports picks and going up 20% is not very easy to do. It's definitely doable, but it's not a walk in the park. If you're just a casual sports picker, you're not going to be able to do this. So take a mathematical approach. That's my big point number 3. When you're looking at these tests, realize that you might not pass on your first try, but if you take the test multiple times and you pass on your 2nd, 3rd, 4th, even 5th try, it mathematically makes sense because the testing fee is so small and the amount of capital that you'll get access to once you get into that funded account phase is going to be worth it. So don't be afraid to fail a challenge. Don't be afraid to start with a smaller challenge and work your way up. Look at it mathematically. Look at how hard it actually is to pass the challenge. And most people are not going to be able to do this on their first try. But that doesn't mean just because you can't do this on your first try, you shouldn't do it. It's going to take multiple tries for most people to get funded. I just did an interview with a guy who tried for months at a time. He failed multiple accounts and then finally got funded on a 100K account and got a $43,000 payout as his first ever payout. This dude's name is Michael. He's an insane guy, insane sports picker, really cool story. I did a full interview with him right here on this channel. I'll link it in the description below if you guys want to go watch that. But he did not find success right away. He failed multiple accounts, but he looked at it mathematically. He honed in his emotions and he kept taking the test, kept sticking to his strategy, and he was able to get funded for 100K and get that $43,000 payout. So that's big point number 3. Look at taking a test on Player Profit from a mathematical perspective. Don't convince yourself that it's easier than it actually is. And when you do take the test, give yourself some leeway, give yourself some grace when it comes to failing challenges, because ultimately, if you have to take the test multiple times, you lose a bit of money on the testing fees. It still probably makes sense by the time you actually get funded for the amount of capital that you're going to get access to. Well, that's pretty much the end of this video. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. I just wanted to bang out a quick video where I go over the 3 most important things that I've seen people who have actually gotten funded implement in their strategy to pass these challenges on Player Profit. I want to do a more in-depth video on this later, so drop down below in the comments if you think that I missed something. And if any of you guys who are watching this have already gotten funded on Player Profit, I would love to interview you. You can DM me on my Instagram or my TikTok at marcus.betting, the exact same as this YouTube channel, just with a dot instead of a space. And I'd love to get you on the channel. So I hope that answers your guys' questions about some of the best things that you can do in order to pass an account and not fail an account. Again, the very first one is going to be to use good bankroll management. The second one is going to be to take your time. Don't rush it. Don't place picks on days where there aren't any good picks. And the third one is going to be to take a mathematical approach and not get too hard on yourself. And it's okay to fail a challenge a couple times if you know that you're ultimately going to be able to pass it on your 5th or 6th try. So again, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Subscribe for more videos that are just going to make you better at sports picking, and more videos talking about Player Profit, how to get funded. That's what we do around here. So if you like that, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.